Straight Talk with your host Reggie B. Come on, let's all join in. Free your voice, it's your choice, alright here. Oh, simply straight talk.
Hey, why you been looking so tired lately?
I'm not tired. I'm just getting my hustle on.
Dang, boss lady, you got like 8 different hustles. What you trying to do?
I'm trying to survive in the cruel. You better wake up.
You ever thought about focusing your hustles to meet one goal?
You ever thought about focusing your hustles?
You always got something smart to say.
We have a great show for you today. So let's get the show started with your host, Reggie Maddox.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Simply Straight Talk Show. This is your host, Reggie Maddox, and today we are going to talk about hustling. That's right. Are you getting your hustle on? What does it mean to have your hustle on? What does it mean when you got a hustle? Do you have a hustle? And I think we need to talk about this today because there are a lot of different definitions when it comes to hustling. Now, when somebody says, I'm hustling, or, somebody tells you, man, you need to get your hustle on, what does that mean to you? Because apparently there are a lot of different meanings when it comes to the word hustle. Now, when we think about hustling way back in the day, hustle was used as a sports term as far as telling players, they need to pick it up, they need to be faster, they need to do better. Hustle, which means you need to move faster. Now, hustler back in the old day was something that meant basically that somebody who pretty much was somebody that was sort of scamming people. You know what I'm saying? They was finding ways to get money that wasn't always, maybe let's just say, with the best interest of both parties involved. So with that being said, when we're talking about hustling today, we're talking about what are you doing as far as a hustle. Now, when we're talking about hustle right now for today's show, we're talking about somebody who's out there that may be doing one or multiple things to try to make ends meet. When I think about hustle, I think about a person that's probably trying to do different things, trying to get themselves into a new position, or maybe just trying to find a way to make more money. And how do you do that? Sometimes some people will start doing stuff like selling t-shirts. Some people will pick up a side gig, maybe another part-time job. At one time it used to be delivering newspapers. It could be lawn work. It's something that's going to help you to bring extra income. But the thing about a hustle is it brings in money, not oftentimes a large amount of money, but it brings you an extra little bit of money to kind of help you out here and there. Now, when we talk about hustle, my concern with people that are hustling is that sometimes they get stuck in hustle mode, because hustle mode is going to bring you, a little bit of change here and there. This plays, that plays. You can pick up a little bit of extra. You might know like, hey, this week I'm going to get an extra $200 from my side hustle. I'm going to get an extra $300 from my side hustle. But sometimes a side hustle is not always consistent. So the thing about it is when you talk about a hustle, are you stuck in hustle mode? I guess that's what I'm really getting at right now. Are you stuck in hustle mode? Are you stuck in a point to where you have become comfortable with the fact that, you're making, a little bit of side change here and there that's kind of helping you to get over? Have you gotten comfortable with your hustle mode and the fact that you're doing multiple things? Have you become comfortable with that? Have you come to realize that, like, man, I kind of like this. It works. It's tiring, but it does give me a little extra income when I need it. It helps me to get over those days when, I got more bills than I got money. So if you're stuck in hustle mode, you got to start asking yourself, how long is it going to last? And how long can I actually sustain keeping this up, just living in hustle mode? Because here's the thing about if you're a hustler, okay? If you're out there working and you're doing all these things, trying to get to a certain point, the thing about it is this. Whatever you're doing, as far as saying like, look, I'm hustling every day. This is my side hustle. This is what this is. It all should lead to one point. So just kind of picture it like this. This is how I like to say it, or how I like to give everybody an image. Picture a triangle, okay? A triangle has a wide base, but it leads to one point at the top. You need to make sure that everything you're doing to build the foundation for where you're trying to go leads to one point. And I think when people get in hustle mode, they sort of forget that. They sort of lose sight of that, because when you're doing all these different things, or you're doing all these things to kind of make ends meet, and trust me, believe me, I understand. When you are trying to get back on track, when you're trying to get your life together, when you're trying to make it, and you're doing everything you can, then you have to realize that everything you're doing has to lead to one focal point. It has to take you to a place where you can feel like you know where you're going. Something's going to come from it. Something's going to benefit from it. And I think that's the issue that a lot of us face when we get in hustle mode. We're so stuck and we become so comfortable with making the small amount of income that we make in order to get over and make it from day to day or from month to month, that we forget to shoot for that real big objective that's going to make it so we don't have to work as hard hustling every day. We don't have to focus our time and energy into so many different projects just so we can say, I got extra money for this, I got extra money for that, or I'm able to get by. And I think that is a big problem, especially with a lot of Black Americans, that we get stuck in hustle mode. Because sometimes when you're hustling and you're looking at your big dream versus where you're at now, you can get comfortable. You can say to yourself, yes, I want to get that house, or I want to get that job, or open that company. But it's like the more obstacles you're starting to go through, you become frustrated, you become tired. And then you just get to the point of like, you know what? I'm comfortable. Let me take a break. Let me slow down. Let me just let go of that for right now, because I'm comfortable. Everything I'm doing right now, it seems to be okay. It's working. I'm getting by. So let me just, put that to the side. So sometimes people get a little bit distracted in what they're doing, and their hustle is now their comfort zone, because they become stuck in that comfort zone. And when they become stuck in that comfort zone, it's kind of like a person that's, at a red light. When you get to a red light, you get to this major intersection, and every traffic light is saying green except for yours. So you stuck in your lane and you see everybody going, but you just stuck. And it's not because you want to be stuck. It's just the fact that you just reached a point to where you just kind of settled and you're just kind of like comfortable. So you got to realize something, that having a hustle is good, but your hustle needs to lead to a point to where it's progressing you, and also to a point to where financially, you see your finances building. It should not be to the point to where your hustles are remaining, or put it like this, your hustle should not be stagnant. You know what I'm saying? You should not be doing the same hustles over a year, okay? And still at the same point. That's telling you that something needs to change. Something needs to be addressed within the means of your hustling. Either that's how you are actually investing the money that you're getting from your hustling. How are you spending that money? What are you doing with it? Are you assessing which parts of your hustles are working? Which parts are contributing to that's actually progressing you forward? Or are you just kind of saying, look, it's comfortable, so the money I make, I kind of enjoy myself because I work hard, and which you should. But at some point, you got to realize that, when you're hustling and you're making that money, it has to be some way that you're taking time to make sure that everything is building towards something. You got to make sure that you are progressing your life to a point to where you're building something. So let me ask you this. What are you trying to build? What are you trying to accomplish? Are you trying to own a home? Are you trying to start your own business? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to relocate to another city? Are you trying to start a family? You want to better position yourself to be, where you're financially stable enough to have a family. You know what I'm saying? So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to write a book? Are you trying to get into the music business? What are you trying to do to actually get yourself in position to where all of your hustles and everything that you're doing within your hustles is lining up to bring you into a place of comfort, a place of satisfaction, a place to where you can feel like you can sort of let off the brakes, but your finances are still there, because you got to make sure that you are growing in a way that you are actually benefiting from everything that you're doing. Because think about it. If you're not benefiting from what you're doing, then how long should you keep doing it? Have you set a timeline for everything that you're doing as a hustle to see that, okay, if it progresses at this point, I'm looking to observe what is it about what I'm doing that's going to make me better? How far is this advancing me? Am I investing time and money into something that's not giving me a return back on what I'm doing? So you have to look at things like that, because if you don't, you're going to find yourself in the same situation 2 years from now, 3 years from now. You're going to be doing the same thing, having no impact on your life, no impact on your finances, no impact on reaching that ultimate goal that you set for yourself of what you want to accomplish, what you want to do. So you got to make sure that whatever you're doing as far as your hustle is building towards something, because you're trying to build a better life for you. That's why you have a hustle. You're trying to build a better life for you. You're trying to set yourself up to where you have financial freedom, you met your objectives, you met your goals, and to where you can actually look back on your life and say, look, I've worked hard and this is everything that I got to show for it. You don't want to be stuck in hustle mode the rest of your life. You want to live your life to where you can leave all of that behind and start something new. You don't want to be doing the same hustle 5 years from now. Put it like this. Think about if you move away from your home city and then you go back home, say 10 years later, and you start talking to some of your old friends. And then you start to realize that you can't really talk to them anymore, because the only thing they have to talk about in their life is the same thing that they talked about when you last left, because they're doing the same things. They're not doing anything different. They have made no changes in their life, nothing to grow their life professionally, nothing to grow their life financially. They've taken no risks. They've made no investments. They've done nothing. And you find that, it's not that you're better than them. It's just that you have taken the chance and taken the initiative to say, you know what? My life, I wanted something more. I wanted something different. I wanted to leave something, a legacy. So you went out. You started a business. You wrote a book. You wrote music. You know what I'm saying? You went out. You moved to another state. You bought you a new home. These are things that you've done. And they may look at it as, well, you think you're better than me because you act like you can't talk to me anymore. And it's not that you can't talk to them. It's just that you have outgrown the conversation. You know what I'm saying? Think about it. You can only sit down and reminisce about old times for so long. You're going to get like, okay, well, we talked about what we did yesterday we talked about everything. This morning, we're still talking about everything. And now we're repeating the same conversation. I don't mind reminiscing. It was nice. It was fun. But you know what? I'm going to be here for a week. And for a whole week, we can't talk about the things we used to do, because now I'm doing new things. You want to hear about your friends doing new things, growing, maturing, building, just like you're doing, and you should be doing. Your life should be based on the fact that you're building, you're growing, you're maturing, and you're creating new things in your life, new things that's going to take you to a whole new level. That's what your hustle should be doing for you. Your hustle should also show that you're growing past who you used to be, the things you used to do. If your hustle today reflects you as being the same person you were last year, then something is wrong. Your hustle should show a change in you, in your mindset, how you do things. It should give you a more knowledgeable and wiser perspective on things in life and what you're doing. And you got to acknowledge that, because if you can't acknowledge that, then you're going to get stuck in this hustle mode of where you're just working on different things every day, not progressing, just accepting the fact that you got a couple $100 extra a month that you have to work with. And that's not what you want to do. Hey, this is Reggie Maddox. You're right here on the Simple Straight Talk Show. I'm trying to get y'all motivated, man. I'm trying to get y'all to see beyond being a hustler, beyond being in hustle mode. You know what I'm saying? I think y'all can be entrepreneurs. You can be book writers, okay? Homeowners, business owners. You can do this. You don't have to be stuck in day-to-day making change, all right? Hey, we're going to be right back. Y'all stay tuned right here on the Simple Straight Talk Show.
This is Simply Straight Talk with your host, Reggie, bringing the conversation straight to you.
Hello, Simply Straight Talk family. If you are enjoying this episode, at the end of the show, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. And why not share this with a friend? Also, visit our blog at newlifenewmind.com, where you can find additional articles on more great topics. Stay tuned. The show will continue right after this message.
You're listening to Simply Straight Talk.
All right, everybody, we're back. We're back for the second part of today's show, Stuck in Hustle Mode. That's right. That's what we're talking about today, stuck in hustle mode. And there's a lot of people that need to hear this because you know what? Many of us do get stuck. We get comfortable with the fact that we're making a couple extra $100 off of this gig or that gig. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not hating on that. But what I want you to do is to paint a bigger picture for your life. See where you can be, not where you are. Don't live for the moment. Build something for the future. So we got to change the way we see hustle mode. We got to change it because hustling is just a way to get extra income. But hustling should be building to something. It should be leading you to a path, a final destiny. So if you hustling to make money, what you trying to do with that money? Where you trying to go with that money? What is the purpose of that hustle? What is the purpose of it? Where are you trying to put that money at? Are you trying to put that money into a business? Are you trying to put it into a book? Are you trying to put it into a new home? Are you trying to put it into your child's education? What are you trying to do? You working so hard with this extra hustle. What is the point of it? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? I want you to accomplish something. I want you to do something. I want you to be something. You know, many of us are working jobs every day, 8 hours a day, 9 hours a day, 12 hours a day. We are working jobs and we hate what we do. Some of us love what we do, but we hate who we work for because we're working for people who don't care about us. They can replace you at the drop of a dime. All they need to say is, I no longer need your services, or we're cutting back, or you don't fit the mold of what we're trying to do, or the company is going in a different direction. So what do? Do you cry about it? Do you whine about it? That's the purpose of a hustle. If you're working a job, and I understand that, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So you're working a job to where you don't really feel respected. You don't really feel loved. It's not exactly where you want to be. But it doesn't mean that you have to stay there. It doesn't mean that that's where you belong. It just means that you have to do what's necessary. And that's what you do. People pick up a hustle. They pick up a side hustle. They create a hustle. But make sure that hustle is taking you to a point in your life to where you're doing something that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy, something that you take pride in, something that you look at and say, you know what? This is something that's going to create a new foundation that I can pass down to my kids, that I can pass down to my family, something that you can do to where you feel you're making a difference and brings happiness and joy to you. Now, when we talk about being in hustling mode, one thing you got to realize something. Hustling does not mean that you have is a way of evading educating yourself in different career fields, finances, the home market. You still got to educate yourself. Whatever you're doing as a side hustle, keep this in mind. If you're doing something as a side hustle, just remember this. Whatever you're doing, there is something you can learn from what you're doing. take what you can learn from that place. Like even at a company, I worked at one job and man, I worked at some jobs that's been horrible. But one thing I've always done and said, you know what, when I get my own business, this part of what they're doing, I can take with me. That part of what they're doing is not for me. So that's the thing you got to do. Figure out, look at companies and see, what is this company doing that I like? I think that's good. Then say, you know what? I can take this and implement it into my business idea or my career goal, and it can make things better. But the problem is when we decide that we're just going to abandon everything and we're just being comfortable with the moment, then the problem is we're losing focus. Your hustling is not paying off. Hustling should not be about just money. It should be about educating yourself on what you can get from what you're doing, what you can get, learn, and use in your life for the future going forward. Because when you stop learning, then you stop growing. When you start growing, your hustling is going to become stagnant. It's going to become just a simple day-to-day thing that you're doing that you're going to eventually start to feel like and treating it like it's your old job. So make sure that when you're hustling, you're doing it because you're building towards something. But it's an educational moment. Every hustle you do is an educational moment. It's to teach you something. It's to help you grow. It's to help you become better. But you got to be willing to learn. You got to be willing to take the bad and the good with your hustle and how it's going to make you be a better person. What is it from your hustle that's going to move you into a new direction? And don't get me wrong now, people are going to talk about your hustle. They're not going to like it. Some people not even going to like it, especially when they see you going forward. And one thing you need to look at is just watch how people treat you when your hustle is starting to pay off. And you're really starting to gain momentum. You're starting to pick up. You're going to find some people that's going to be happy for you. They're going to support you. Whatever product you're doing, they're going to go out and buy it. But then you got other people who just not going to care. Because you know what? They don't never want you to see get out of hustle mode. They want you to stay stuck in hustle mode. Because if their life is stuck in one mainstream of living, they're going to expect you to stay in one mainstream of living. Because they don't want you to get out from where you are. So you got to make sure that when you're doing your hustle, do your hustle so that you can grow. And understand, everybody's not going to respect your hustle. Everybody's not going to care about your hustle. Everybody's not going to want to see you move forward. So you got to stick with your hustle, work within your hustle, understand where your hustle is going. And you got to keep yourself motivated. Understand how to motivate yourself. Understand that sometimes you have to encourage yourself because sometimes your wife won't do it. Your husband won't do it. Your friends won't do it. Your family won't do it. You got to encourage yourself. You got to find that self-encouragement. That is one of the biggest things about being in hustle mode. Because you're doing all of this, everybody won't understand what you're doing and what you're trying to accomplish. So they rather you just stick with that 9 to 5, working for somebody who don't respect you, don't care for you, paying you what they feel you are worth. So you having to ask them for days off, ask them for a pay raise. You having to go through all this when you're trying to set the tone for your own life that you determine when you want days off, when you want to go home, how much money you want to make. And you can pay yourself what you're worth, not based on somebody else's self-worth. See, the thing about it is you have to understand that when you're in that mode of hustling, hustle in a direction. Hustle in a direction. And people not going to get it. That's all right. They don't have to get what you're trying to do because you're trying to do what you need to do because what you need to do is going to set you up better in life. So you feel what I'm saying? Handle your business. Do what you got to do. But the most important thing is don't get stuck in the same place. Don't get comfortable with mediocrity. Don't be comfortable with just getting by. And that's what happens to a lot of people who are in hustle mode. They get to a point where they got a little bit extra and they just get comfortable with getting by. So you can't get comfortable with just getting by. Don't let yourself settle for just being in a stagnant place. Make it so that you understand that you're trying to do something better for you. You're trying to do something better for where you're trying to go and what you're trying to accomplish. All right? Now, we're going to come right back with the final thoughts on this subject. So stick right here with your host, Reggie Maddox. All right, I'll be right back, baby.
Don't even think about it. We got more straight talk just for you.
Hey, are you looking for some great music, upbeat and with a positive voice? Well, the song I Stand With You is exactly what you need. This timeless song has a pop version sung by Audrey Carmel. And a reggae version sung by General Steele, now known as Revelation.
Now I know some days you may feel blue, Lord. Trust in your greatness to see you through.
These songs are now available on iTunes and other digital platforms for download. Don't miss out. Get your copy today.
Give life your best, and I know.
We're back with the conversation starter and the voice that works harder. Your host, Reggie.
All right, everybody, welcome to the final segment of today's show. We're talking about being stuck in hustle mode. Now, we discussed a few things about hustle mode, but one thing I want to say is this. I know that life is hard. It's hard and it's challenging, especially when you're working for somebody else and you trying to figure out what you're going to do next, how you're going to make ends meet, how you're going to pay the bills. And one of the things that makes it really difficult is just the fact that we all need money. We all got bills. We all trying to figure out how we're going to make it day to day. How can we get ahead? How can we make it so that we're not worried about which bill we got to take from one month to pay the next month? You know, you got kids that need stuff for school. You got medical bills. You know, you have all this stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? Car note, insurance, mortgage, rent, electricity, utilities, all this stuff, house repairs, car repairs, you know, it's so much. But the thing about it is, don't give up. Whatever you're doing, don't give up. Don't let life beat you. Don't let bills, don't let all of this stuff make you feel defeated. You have to understand that whatever you're trying to do in life, you can do it. But you got to do it by just keep focusing on whatever you're trying to do. So if your hustle is a side job, keep working that side job. But make sure that you're learning something. Make sure that every ounce of income you get is just focused on putting you in a better place. Start investing in what you know is going to grow for you. What's going to make a difference? What's going to take you to the next level? You have to make that decision because nobody else can make it for you. Nobody else can actually help you achieve what you want to do. Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be people that come in our life that sort of help us and kind of push us along because everybody needs that person, whether it is indirectly or directly, that kind of helps you move forward in life. You know, because all it takes is one person to see what you're doing and tell somebody else and it blows up. So that's why you have to keep going. Whatever your hustle is, keep it honest, keep it legit, stay focused. And make sure you know what the big picture is. Make sure you understand that you are building something to take you in a particular direction that you know is going to work with the foundation that you have set. So you understand the fact that you're building something. Like I said, it could be you're trying to establish a legacy. You're trying to establish a role, something that your children can take over and grow into. But most of all, people, Simply Straight Talk family, let me tell you this. You need to find something that you are going to be really happy doing. You're going to be finding something that when you wake up in the morning, you're going to look forward to it. You're going to look forward to starting any project associated with that hustle. You're going to look forward to finding that, you know, it impacts you in a way that you feel completed and satisfied at the end of the day. And also, make sure, once again, that it's building towards something that's leading you into a particular direction that's going to benefit you in the long run. Because that's something we have to start doing. We got to start setting ourselves up to where we're building our foundation long term. Your hustle cannot be from month to month or week to week. Your hustle should be starting to build a road that's going to be starting to carry you years down the line. And hopefully, the ultimate goal of your hustle is to build something that's going to create a financial flow that even when you sitting at home on the couch, okay, you sitting at home on the couch and you watching Black Panther, Roots, you still getting a check coming in. And nobody are telling you that you can't get paid and you can't take a vacation. So if you sitting in Bora Bora, or if you sitting in Africa, or if you sitting in the ATL Atlanta on vacation, you know for a fact that you got that money coming in and it's your money. And you ain't got to worry about going back to a job that may change their mind about your employment at the end of the week and they don't care at all. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're trying to do. That's the goal you're trying to set. And with that being said, y'all know what time it is, baby. Thank you for joining us today. I hope this has inspired you and motivated you, that you're going to start taking a look at the things that you're doing in your life and building something better. My name is Reggie Maddox. You've been listening to the Simply Straight Talk Show. And just know, man, I appreciate all the love and the respect and everything. You know what I'm saying? You guys keep it up, because I'm definitely going to keep it coming to you. Hey, catch you next time.
You've reached the end of another episode of the Simply Straight Talk Show. Connect with us at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Don't forget to sign up to our newsletter and check out the New Life, New Mind blog at newlifenewmind.com. See you at the next episode.